Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the answer portion of the question and answer thing. I will be playing a video game. There we go, in the background. Haven't decided what it's going to be yet. I'll probably see how long this clip is going to be. We don't have that many questions. First of all, I'm going to change how Patreon works for those who are on Patreon. I'm going to start with a few exceptions, maybe where I have a particular desire to play a particular game. I will now be putting like every Let's Play will be voted on through Patreon. I'm still going to choose the 4 things you pick from, but you get to pick that. There we go. Slight announcement that I kind of came up with before the last announcement. So part of the reason is most people came back just saying that they were happy for me just to upload one a day. I think people didn't want to have a deluge of videos per day. So with that, there's not going to be polls as frequently, so I'm going to just up that by just giving you guys more polls and more decisions. There we go. So questions and answers. So question 1. The first 2 questions are to do with modelling Dragoonster. What models do I use? So for the Napoleonics, most of the ones I'm using are from the Waterloo set. So they're from Warlord games. I've got a couple of the command sprues from Perry Miniatures. Now they used to do a lot of work for Games Workshop. A lot of the old Games Workshop miniatures were done by Alan and Michael Perry. I think those are their names. So they're really good. The Colonels are Perry Miniatures. So those are the 2 I've got at the moment, kind of being made for the British. Those 2 kind of productions, those 2 companies. I've got plans for the other 4 kind of armies I'm going to do. So Russia, France, Austria, and Prussia. And in those plans, I'm also planning on including front rank miniatures, mainly their officers, and Victrix games. Victrix, I think, in some cases, they're a really good deal. You get like 40, 50 models for 20, 25 quid. The Warlord games sets are often 20 quid for 24 miniatures, so they're not as good a deal for the infantry, unless you can get like a good deal either through eBay or no, some of the models aren't done by other people in plastics, so you kind of have to go with Warlord, but you can get good deals on eBay, or sometimes they just have good deals. Like at the moment with Black Friday, they've got some really good deals. They've got some good deals, so that's caused me to kind of rejigger some of my plans. That's kind of that. So yeah, Warlord is most of my British and the Hanoverians. Some of the command for the British are from Perry. The Colonels are Perry. I think I actually have some front rank bits. I bought some stuff off eBay, and due to a slight technical glitch with kind of working out postage, the person I was purchasing from sent me some. They look like they're front rank command, I think. So I'll use those. Yeah, and then Victrix and Victrix will be. I'll almost certainly get going forward. I think for the French actually, who I'm going to do after the British. Question 2. Any tips on edge highlighting? I don't really have tips for painting. The last time before starting these Napoleonic things, the last time I did anything with miniatures would be when I was in uni and I graduated. Well, when I was in uni the first time. And I graduated from there in 2012. And I definitely wasn't in it like the last maybe year or 2. So you're looking at 2010. So that's 10 years back. So I'm trying to get back into things. The main way I would do things with highlighting trying to remember back, I think would mainly be dry brushing. So you get a lighter paint, a little bit on the brush, and then kind of get as much off as possible. So you've got like a bare minimum, and then just kind of dry brush over it. So you got that dry brush, and then you just kind of go across it. That's often the way I do it. It depends on what you mean by edge as well. If it's like a kind of an overhang, and you can get a kind of a good shape on it, you could just kind of brush along the edge that you want to do. So there's a few different possibilities. Yeah, those are the tips I'd give. But I'm trying to get back into it. I've not really thought about highlighting at the moment. No, I tell a lie. I have one model I've highlighted, and that's my black soldier, who I'm going to do another one of actually. I have touched a bit on his like nose, a lighter color, and I think some of his cheeks a slightly lighter color. And I think both of those were kind of just kind of line it up and just brush along the way you want to go. And because it's sticking out, I don't have to worry about painting other bits. So there's a bit there. That's probably my tip. Dry brushing is good if it's loads of raised detail. Thinking about it. Okay, question 3. Are you an Otherkin, or is the dragon a family crest? The particular dragon I use is actually from the Welsh flag, because I love Wales. Wales is brilliant. Can't go there at the moment because of COVID restrictions. But I love Wales. Wales is brilliant. I love the flag. I've always loved fantasy stories. I remember loving The Hobbit. I remember loving Wizard of Earthsea, which also has dragons. So I just like dragons. So I went with that. I'm not Otherkin. Not a family crest. My family crest has canaries on it, apparently, from what I've seen of it. So yeah, I like dragons, and I like the colour red, and I like Wales. So it all kind of works together. Question 4. Will you continue Assassin's Creed after Syndicate? I'm planning to. I already have Origins, which is the prequel, except then there's a prequel to the prequel called Origins, I think. Yes, from what I know of the game, that's it. Like, I think from what I know, Origins is kind of 50 BC, I think. And then you've got Odyssey, and I think Odyssey is the Peloponnesian War, which is, I think, 4th, 5th century BC. So it's several centuries before, so kind of not really Origins. Whatever. I'm looking forward to getting to Odyssey, because I do really like that period. I really like kind of Greek history, Greek myth. I actually did a course on ancient Greek, although I can't remember much of it, despite it being about a year or two ago. So I'm looking forward to doing it. However, I'm kind of a bit wary of what's going to happen. We've been having problems with Syndicate of frame rate drop, and I don't know exactly what that is or what the reason is. And so I did do a bit of a look, and so I just ended up just dropping a lot of the graphics. But even then, like, if I was doing the graphics, it'd be like, oh yeah, it's fine, yeah, you can do top level graphics, and then even when I wasn't recording, it would still have frame rate drops. So I'm not entirely sure what that is, and that's one of the things that makes me a bit dubious going forward with Origins, is maybe something similar will happen. I do also know that the combat's slightly different, that they've tweaked the combat, so we'll have to see how that goes. But I mean, that's the fun of blind Let's Plays, is things change and you've got to work out and you've got to roll with it. So we'll have to have a look at that and have to think about that, and look at the kind of how kind of frame rate works, and hopefully we don't have horrific drops like we've been having recently in Syndicate. Although that's fixed now. The The thing is with only uploading one a day is now I'm quite a way ahead. I think I've uploaded videos talking about the fact that have been fixed. I think so. I'm fairly sure. But yeah, those are fixed. So I'm kind of wary of what's going to happen next. I am hoping to do it. I've got Origins. Looking forward to Odyssey. Or looking forward to getting Odyssey. That's kind of the main one. Valhalla's the latest one, and that one is Vikings, so Norse mythology, which I also quite enjoy. I've got a book on Norse mythology. I got it for my school placement last year, actually, because they were covering Norse myth, written by a fellow who actually lives around here, which is quite fun. Or lived around here. He's dead now. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to it, hoping to, but it's very much dependent on how everything works, and frame rate and everything. Number 5. Are there any strange ideas that you've not done? I should probably kind of suffix that with yet. So first of all, I'll give you 3. So I actually had a strange idea for board games. I do play a lot of board games, and I've been doing this anyway. But was to play through the board games I have in historical order. So basically, work through them in kind of order of setting, and then you work out like who's got the best army according to these games, which I've been doing anyway. Just kind of playing through games, and I started with the Stone Age when lockdown started, and now I'm up to the 16th century. With the Reformation, and I was going to film that, and I thought, okay, I want to try it and make sure that I can do it. And it's quite good because there's been quite a few games that I've just skipped because I just didn't like them as much as I thought I would, or I played a load of scenarios in them and they still had more to go, and I was like, no, I'm done. So kind of glad I didn't do that one, because there'd be a lot of kind of games that I didn't do all the scenarios from just because they weren't my cup of tea, or the games were quite similar, or the setup was a bit frustrating. So yeah, skip that one. Second idea. One of my friends was thinking of getting into Age of Sigmar, so this is kind of what sparked me off into getting into the miniatures. Because he kind of likes Total War Warhammer 2. We've actually been playing against each other. Doing a campaign. He's Orcs, I'm the Empire, and I'm doing quite... I don't know if I'm doing badly. Well, I am. I'm doing badly, but I'm doing better than he is. Which is a tad kind of frustrating, that I'm doing badly. The vampires are taking over. It's not good. And I was thinking we could do like so there used to be a series in White Dwarf, which is the Games Workshop magazine, which was called A Tale of Four Gamers. Now we'd only have 2 people, and basically the idea is we'd buy some models from over the month, we'd get them made and painted, and then we'd have a battle with the force we had, or as close as we could. And the other idea of that is then you could give us challenges and we'd like score points, and after a while we'd say the challenge was pretty much over based on how things went. So that was an idea that was going to happen, but he started feeling he had too much. He didn't have enough time. He wasn't quite into it. He's starting to say he might be thinking about it again now. Now that I've got all the Napoleonic miniatures and I've got plans for that. So I don't know if we do that, just because basically then I'm doubling what I'm doing for miniatures. It could still be an idea. My only thought is it's been however many episodes and I still haven't finished like my opening kind of purchases for the British. So I'm kind of dubious of if we'd be able to do that properly over the month. Just because it's taken me. I can't even remember when I started. Actually, I'll look this up. How many videos have I done for Dragoonster 16? 8 videos. Plus, I missed one last week, and I missed another one earlier on. So it's been 10 weeks since I started. That's 2.5 months. So, I mean, admittedly, if the idea I'd have with that is you start with £60 the first month, and then it's £30 each month. So it's just like a small purchase. Now, £60 is about, so £30 is about one box. I could probably get one box done in a month, potentially. Glued, assembled, painted. Maybe not based, because I don't have anything to base with. So that could potentially work. But it's another thing to do. It's more miniatures to do. And I'd like to kind of get all my Napoleonic stuff done first. All my plans for that done, which is like one pretty much one army of roughly the same price for each. So financial price, which might mean that they're completely unbalanced, but I think we'll find out. And my third strange idea is a video game one. So I've done it like 3 kind of hobbies I have. Is why I've done this. Thought of the answers like this and it was an idea I've had. I don't know if anyone else has done this, but I've decided to call it Uranium Man. And the idea is I would pick a number of video games, probably ones I've certainly already played, maybe already let's played. And what would happen is you would play, and you'd play the first game. I'd probably pick like maybe five or 6 games that I've already done, and the first game you start the first game, and then you die. And then when you die, because this is me, when not if, instead of being Iron Man and that's the end of the series, you then start the second game, and then when you die in the second game, you start the third game, and so on. And so it's constantly changing what's happening and what game you're now playing. Throughout the kind of series for it. And then when you got round to the 5th one, when you died in that, you went back to the first one, so it's constantly shifting. I mean, it could work, it might work maybe better if you did 2 or 3, so it gets round faster. The only thought to that is there are 3 options. Is either you finish it when you finish a game, so one of the games. The second option is you finish when you finish all 5 games. The only problem with that, I think, is when you've completed the first 4, when you've got your first 4 completions, the last one just becomes basically a let's play for however long you've got left. The third option is that it technically never ends, and you just jump from game to game. And then when one game finishes, you just pick a new replacement game. So that's something that's kind of ruminating in my head. Actually, might be a good idea to see what you think of that. Kind of which of those potential endings do you like, or not ending in one of them? So yeah, those are my ideas, and those are the 5 questions. I only got 5 questions. Oh. So it's just a short little video, which is about the same size as kind of most of my other videos actually, which is quite nice. And now I have to just think of what game to do in the background. Which you'll already be watching. So indeed, thanks for watching and listening. And maybe we'll do another one of these in the far future. Who knows? Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.